is episode 1 of Lost in Conversation. We are lost in separation. I'm Elad, I'm the singer of the band.
I'm Jake, play bass, sing.
I'm Andrew, I play guitar.
And today we're going to be talking about our new material. So we're just going to go song by song, kind of chat about some of the lyrics, some of the production, some of the writing, and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and start it off with the song Ice Age. It's the first single off of our new record. It's one of our favorites for many reasons. We have an awesome guest vocalist. We have all kinds of crazy things going on here. And it's pretty different than anything else we've ever written. I think, you know, a lot of people may listen to us and hear elements of other bands that we like, such as like anything from like Meshuggah to Architects to, you know, Northlane, you name it. But in writing this song, we kind of looked at some of our like older influences. So I think a lot of like 2007 Parkway and, you know, As I Lay Dying were kind of some of the things that we listened to in addition to some of like Northlane's earlier material and things like that. And so we channeled a lot of like nostalgic energy into this song, where I think we normally do more of a balance of like some nostalgia, some modern. But it was a really fun one to write. I kind of wrote the song about my personal experiences with the diaspora of the Iranian people and how that's affected like my family personally. So I talk a lot about many different things on this song. Some of the things that I was thinking about were, you know, the passing of my grandfather, not being able to be there for his funeral, but then also kind of some of like the, you know, in a broader perspective, some of the real implications of like these types of conflict around the world. So kind of painting a broader stroke, looking at other wars, looking at like refugee situations and things like that. I kind of think about, you know, the unavoidable impacts that these kind of conflicts have on people. And so for, you know, example, the context of war, there are casualties, there are people that are separated from their loved ones, there are people who do not survive, the resilience of the human spirit and like the and those kinds of relationships that you have with people and how those things will endure through those conflicts. So some of the things that I say lyrically on that song are, you know, talking about together we will be again in this life or the next, burn a little brighter for me, I'm fearing I've lost my way. My favorite lyric on this track is it actually comes from an Arabian proverb and kind of looking at other world events, seeing like what's going on in like Palestine and things like that. One thing that I say is, in the name of God, they'll kill us all, but does not the dying snake always bite the deepest? And that second line actually comes from, like I said, an Arabian proverb. And I just think it's a really beautiful, poetic way to kind of talk about, you know, really what's going on. So yeah, that's probably about it for the lyrics for me.
What's your favorite part of the song?
Dude, it's tough, and I feel like it's like a really kind of like generic expected answer for a dude in a metalcore band to say this, but honestly, I feel like the breakdown when it hits is really like a rewarding payoff, kind of getting through some of like the melodic riffs and a really high energy, fast-paced chorus. So, you know, when that breakdown hits, that just gets me going. But sure, it's funny to mention that, you know, I say like it's fast paced and that like the tempo and all that kind of stuff, but it vocal delivery wise, it's kind of one of the more different songs for me. So where like Josh, our drummer, is like playing really fast, like 16th note kicks, I feel like I'm kind of like slowing myself down and like fighting back internal demons, like trying not to rush just to like deliver the parts right. But I don't know, it's kind of funny.
This was a fun one for me because it was the first thing that I sang on for the project.
Yeah.
And I laid down vocal tracks that I thought were not going to be used. I thought that they were going to be reference tracks for you to go over, but then fell in love with them.
We didn't have that conversation.
And convinced us to go with them as final tracks, and they came out, and everybody loves them. And
yeah.
It was my first time being a part of the project, I felt like, and it was a lot of fun, as well as the little clean section. You know, you asked me to write a little part, and sent that over to you, and you're like, I'm a good guitarist, I'll figure it out. And you sure did. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun being able to have a hand in this track, for sure.
It was one of the tracks that I think, like, me and Hicks sat down for the first time. We've collabed on every release that we've had in terms of, like, you know, shooting ideas back and forth, but it was the first time, like, you and I sat down and said, like, here's the plan, went part by part and kind of like refined and crafted everything from there. So I think from a songwriting perspective, it's one of the tracks that I feel the most like attached to and accomplished with, and that I felt like I had like a pretty good hand in its creation. But obviously, nothing without the riff master. So
Yeah, some of my favorite parts of the song are like the breakdown. Yeah, that was a last minute change. It was originally like the final breakdown at the very end of the song was copy pasted, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like that, but we dropped it like 5 semitones to F, whatever, F sharp. So it just like hits hard. And that was a cool like last minute change that just like made that breakdown like catch your attention a little bit more.
It's heavy.
yeah.
And then like the 2-step chorus is a good vibe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just having
Gets
that,
me going.
the 2-step part in that.
Even though you can't two-step.
I can't sing and two-step at the same time. I can two-step, but also I'm 30, so I'm not going to be two-stepping in the show.
That's fair.
The feature.
Yeah, dude, we didn't even talk about that yet. So obviously, we have a star-studded feature on this song. Getting to work with Aaron Gillespie was awesome. He was really quick, really easy, really professional, great vibes all around. For us, kind of like a full circle moment. For those of you who are kind of like aware of the scene and have been involved in it for a long time, like it's pretty clear like what the inspiration behind the name of our band was, and so it's a pretty full circle moment to get to work with one of our favorite artists, and rip a song together and have it be fucking awesome. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we wrote that part pretty much for the feature.
Yeah, we pretty much went in there and was like, we were like, let's write an Under Oath part because we're gonna get the Under Oath guy on a song,
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty cool.